Did you hear that?
What happened?
Juliet and Romeo will get married.
Oh my gosh, are you serious?
Yes, I just heard from Michael.
Oh my god. Hey, so did you hear that surprising news? What is it? Michael and Juliet will get married. Oh my gosh.
No,
What?
that's not true.
What?
Romeo and Juliet will marry.
Memory distortion! Have you ever thought that your memory might have been different from reality? We all believe our memories are fact-based, but this is a misconception. For instance, when you look at the childhood pictures that you cannot remember, you feel like you had the memories originally, even though you didn't have them. Another example is that different people who have been through the same occasion have different memories. So ultimately, the question is, can we trust our memories? Some of us already know that memory is not actually a carbon copy of reality, but perhaps have little doubt about it. So through this speech, we want to explain what memory distortion is, how it happens, and how to prevent memory distortion.
Memory distortion is a confusion that happens because of people's imperfect memory. No one remembers anything correctly. There was a psychologist who loved this experiment. When he showed traffic light to the subject and asked them whether they saw red light, people said yes, even though they saw yellow light. According to Loftus, the difference between reality and imagination is only a thin layer. People are not as smart to bring to mind to all the experiences which they faced. Then, why does memory distortion happen? There are some reasons why people remember the wrong thing. First, we have to know that to make memories, our brain puts together different pieces of information. We call this memory reconstruction. When this happens, our brain filters reality and can put together the wrong pieces of information. This creates false, wrong memories. Essentially, this is memory distortion. There are some situations in which people distort their memories more willingly. According to the psychologist Otto Panikel, people lie out of habit when they want to avoid painful realities or things that make them angry or lower esteem. They lie to themselves and to others. Interestingly, most people can remember everything of the moment that was shocking to them, even the close friends and the weather of the moment. Now, you might think that memory distortion is simple, but it is a quite complicated process, and there are many different types.
We've just found out that memories are, in fact, a collection of different events. You've learned that memories are not accurate records of events and can be easily distorted or changed. Then one might question, how does memory distortion happen? Are there different types of distortions? The answer is yes, indeed. We want to introduce 3 different types of memory distortion. First of all, there are schema distortions. We have different schemas or ideas in our head that help us recognize and understand the world around us. For instance, let's suppose that you visit your sister's high school for the first time. Although you haven't seen high school in real life, you've seen them through TV shows, movies, and read about them in books. When you describe your sister's high school to another friend of yours, you comment on huge and tall buildings and students studying all day and night. Even though in reality, there were a few buildings and students were playing in the gymnasium. Your schema about high school, or your past ideas about high school, made you remember wrong information. Another type of memory distortion is source amnesia. As the name suggests, source amnesia happens when you don't remember the exact origin of certain information, and consequently, you make up things. You can remember some information, however, you aren't sure how you get that.
Let's look at examples of source amnesia. Suppose your friends told you that pineapples are high in fat. You may recall the fact and wonder how you learned it. You may conclude the source from the information is from the news or a book, and avoiding the pineapples, believing that pineapples are high in fat, even though science proves that pineapples are good for your health. You are more likely to believe this fact if you think it's from the media instead from your friend. Last but not least, there is a misinformation effect. This happens when someone's memory becomes less accurate because the first information about later events. Imagine that a robber enters a crowded bank in the middle of the day. With his gun, he shoots a security camera and terrifies everyone. He takes money from a teller when one of two security guards into the bank. The first guard shoots the robber and missed it. Suddenly, the another shot is fired. The second guard shot the first guard by mistake. And some customers saw this happen. Later, the police asked the witness, when did the robber shoot the guard? But remember, the robber never shot the guard. But the witness said the robber shot the guard after the guard fired him. Even though some customers saw the second guard shoot the fire first guard by mistake, the police question confused them. So the witness remembered the wrong information.
At this point, you might scare, but don't worry. From now, I'll introduce a way to prevent memory distortion. Firstly, focus on your attention. Because attention is one of the significant components of memory. If you ignore it because it is simple, you might experience the memory distortion. One of the research written by Dr. Kim said that the student who focused on something that they want to remember got better scores in lecture than the others who spaced out or didn't concentrate. Secondly, structure and organize. For example, it is helpful to group similar concepts or terms together or outline your notes and textbook readings to help group related concepts. Dr. Weiss, a renowned professor at Cambridge University, has conducted a research where he divided groups who didn't take notes in his psychology class and who did so willingly. Of course, the group that take notes received much higher grades than the later. Thirdly, read out loud. It seems nonsense, and I agree, but there is a research published in 2014 showing the effect of reading out loud. It suggests that reading materials out loud significantly improves your memory. Educators and psychologists have also discovered that having students teach new concepts to others enhances understanding and recall. Finally, get some sleep. The majority of people here have long known that sleep is essential for memory and learning. In the same way, one study published in 2014 found that sleeping after learning something new leads to cycle changes in the brain. Sleep-deprived mice experience less dendritic growth following a learning task than well-rested mice. So, this is what I prepared for you. Now, do you still worry? I guess you're not.
We'll look at the memory distortion during the speech, though we don't recognize what's happening to us frequently. We must accept that our memories are not always apparent, and our memories are a reconstruction of reality filtered through the human mind. Thus, if you learn about memory distortion during this lecture, you should start to examine your memories. We should remember, can we really trust our memories?